Found a cool recipe for some chocolate chip cookies, so we're gonna try it out. Let's go.
Okay, to get started here, we're going to need a good sized mixing bowl. We're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we're going to add a cup and a half of cake flour. Follow that by 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. If we can get that on camera here. Alright, good job, James. Now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt and a half teaspoon of baking soda. Give that a good mix. Up next, get your stove set to a low heat, and we're going to throw 1.25 cups of butter on the stove. Get that to melt. To a stand mixer, we're going to add 1.25 cup of brown sugar, half cup of white granulated sugar. We're going to add the whisk attachment and get that to kind of blend nice and evenly. Once our butter's melted, we're going to slowly drizzle that in until everything's emulsified. And then once that is mixed in all the way, we're going to add 2 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. I like to add these one at a time. It's important to note too that if you start with the whisk attachment on your stand mixer, it gets everything emulsified correctly, and then you can switch to the beater attachment. So once you start adding your dry mix to all your wets, you can do this in a gradual form. So I like to just use like a mixing cup and slowly add it, and so it doesn't create a giant mess. Once you get everything in there, we're gonna add 2 cups of chopped walnuts. I just got whole walnuts and chopped these myself. And we're gonna add 1 pound of chocolate. I used some chocolate chips, and I also added some chopped dark chocolate that I like. Shouldn't take very long to mix everything together. Once you seem like you've got a pretty even blend of everything, we're gonna take this out. We're gonna kind of cover it in plastic wrap, and then it's going to go in the fridge for a little while. I'd say about 45 minutes is perfect to kind of let it set up, because then what we're going to do is we're going to get our biggest ice cream scoop, and we're going to scoop this out into little portions and then make our cookies out of this. I like to pack them in there. You don't necessarily have to. Makes it easy with a good ice cream scoop to kind of get each one. Takes a little bit. I let this set up a little too long. It was pretty dense. But once you get that all scooped up and divided out, then you're going to spread that across. Give each cookie lots of space so that it can expand. And that's going to go into a ripping hot oven at 425 for about 10 to 14 minutes. This was convection oven, came out about 10 minutes. They all turned out beautiful. So you want the insides to be a little bit on the softer side, and you want the outside to have that nice little golden crunch. All the chocolate's melted through, and these were some of the best cookies I've ever made.
Yeah, sure. Chocolate chip's pretty good, but let's try peanut butter cookies.
Okay, just like before, we're going to start with 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, an entire stick of butter, and then 1 cup of peanut butter. Then we're going to add to this our whisk attachment to a stand mixer, or our stand mixer, and let that go. We want everything to kind of end up emulsified. Kind of looks somewhat like a cream once you're done. And to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of whole milk and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I think this is imitation. If you got the real deal, more power to you. Now it's time to add a couple eggs. I would suggest cracking these into a bowl and then beating them before you add them, but I was feeling brave and just cracked them right into our mixing bowl. I don't believe I got eggshells. Anyway, after it's mixed very well, just go ahead and add your paddle attachment, and we're going to start adding 3 cups of flour to our mix, just gradually. You don't want this to go flying all over the place. Once that's mixed in, we're going to get out our protein powder. I got some loaded peanut butter protein from Rise, and a pretty good supplement company. I always like this for workouts, but it mixes really good with milk, and it is excellent to add to these cookies. It just gives you a little couple extra grams of protein, get you big and strong. Once that's all mixed up, you're gonna see this coming out of the bowl. Just spill some chocolate chips right on the table, then dump the rest of the bag into your blender. And for whatever reason with the peanut butter, I don't think these like to stick as well, but then you're gonna get your smallest ice cream scoop and just keep balling them up. It takes forever, but trust me, it's worth it. Once you get them all balled up, I kind of roll them and then throw them into a bowl of granulated sugar. We're gonna start by dusting each one of these, give them a kind of a little bit of a shake, and then out of here, we're gonna just add them to our pile and then spread them out. Don't need to give these quite as much space on the tray, but just enough so they will expand just slightly. I think I did this all in one batch, but you can do multiple batches, and I think I ended up with around 60 cookies. So you can have this recipe and it works out just fine. It's gonna go into the oven at 375. We're gonna cook these for about 8 minutes, or bake them I should say. And then they will come out of the oven extremely soft. Let's get something for the Snapchat. Oh yeah. Alright, now place these on a cooling rack. They will finish cooking, baking, cooling, whatever you want to say on the cooling rack, but I end up just eating a bunch of them because they're done as soon as they come out of the oven, and these are fantastic. The chocolate chip walnut cookies might have been awesome, but I have to say these are probably my favorite, and the family's favorite too. Made them a bunch of times and I'll continue to do so.
There you have it. The peanut butter protein chocolate chip power cookie. Probably my favorite. And like, they're small enough you can eat a dozen of them. They also freeze pretty good too. If you want to just like kind of make them in balls for you, sugarcoat them, toss them in the freezer. Toss them that way too. All right, so that covers the chocolate chip walnut cookies, peanut butter protein power cookies, and that's just 2 easy recipes that you can make at home now, and they're pretty awesome. So let me know what you think. Try them out. And until next time, I'm gonna get a sugar high going. Goodbye.